Hello. Okay, so lately I have been breaking things at a higher than preferable ratio. I mean, even for me, I've been particularly clumsy, and I've been breaking things that I like and can't replace. One of those things I'm actually going to try and fix now. This is a pepper grinder, or it's a grinder. It doesn't actually specify whether it's for salt or pepper, but it's a grinder. And it's ceramic. It's a brand called Eslau. It's a Danish design, ceramic design brand from like the 80s, I guess, or something like that. Point being, you can't get these anymore, and it is really good. I like it. There are some lovely features about it, and the design is also nice. So yeah, it fell on the floor, and being ceramic, even though I have wood floors, it broke. And I have maybe I can do something else if I can't fix it, but I'm going to try and fix it first. So that's what I'm doing right now. I probably won't be talking that much. Well, who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna just go ahead and start super gluing and see if it works at all. So yeah, a little bit of super glue, the sort of gel kind, which I hope will do the trick. I should probably sit down for this. So, yeah, let's try. Let's see what I can do here. Yeah, and I don't know if it's going to hold either. I don't know even if the glue does hold, because it has like a break here that's starting, and maybe it'll just split apart anyway. I have to if I manage to glue this the body or this shell together, I have to glue it onto this, which is part of the inside. A piece of plastic that's part of the inside. The grinder is not plastic. The grinder is also ceramic. That's part of why this is so great. It has this wonderful ceramic grinder that works super well. Anyway, I'm going to have to glue it onto this afterwards. And I don't know how that's going to go either. Anyway, if I can't glue the whole thing together, the entire exercise is moot, and I'm doing something else. So let's try. I'm just going to start with the big pieces and see where this gets me. Let's get into it. This is just cheap dime store super glue. It's nothing special at all, but it's super glue, and it does work. I have glued a lot of things with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. So, and I actually like that it has this little paintbrush or nail polish kind of applicator here, and it works really well. When I bought it, like I said, it's cheap, so it wouldn't have bothered me too much. But when I bought it, I was like, that thing's going to harden in short order, and then I can't use that anymore. But it doesn't. It's actually pretty consistently useful. Even after a while I've had this, I've used almost half of it on various objects and projects, and it still hasn't hardened. All right, so there's glue on there. Let's see if I can put that on here. Well, I can, but see if I can. You know what? One of the things that sort of signifies this dime store stuff is that it doesn't dry super fast. It's not like instant tack. So I think I should probably use maybe some painter's tape to hold that thing in place a little bit while it sets. Just like small pieces that's why I want to use this narrow one. I don't want to overdo this, because no matter what I put on here, it's got to come off again. Oh, I managed to get super glue on my fingers again. Isn't that wonderful? I always do. So here's hoping that I'm not super gluing the masking tape to the ceramic. If I do, I'll deal with it after. It actually looks like there's a nice seam of glue there. So assuming the glue can actually stick on ceramic, this might just work. Let's try the other big piece here. Put that on. It strings, the glue strings a little bit, so I have to be a little bit careful or I will have it like everywhere. It's a little, it's a gel, it's a kind of a thick one. Maybe you can see. But it's not just, it's not as much gel-like as it's slimy. And that means I have to be just a little bit careful. It does want to string and pull. Yeah, right. But it spreads very nicely. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, I'm being a little bit anal about putting the top back on because, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Needs a little bit more on the... Oops. Other reason why the gel kind is nice, if I knock this over, if I pick it up quickly enough, it doesn't... I don't lose any, and it doesn't slosh into the top or cap and come out next time. All right. Second big piece goes on like so. I realize, I know that you can actually see it. These thin pieces here, the slivers, have broken off. I knew that. I know that, and I knew that. I am not expecting, even if this works, if gluing it together works, I'm not expecting it to do any such thing as look intact. I'm not trying to make that happen at all. I know it's going to be visibly glued together, and I'm fine with that. In fact, I have already considered the possibility that if this works, maybe I can do something fun with those cracks. Like, I don't know, fill them with something, or, you know, paint, or I don't know. I haven't thought it through, but either way, like I said, I'm not expecting it not to look like it was never broken, because that is so not going to happen. I think I'm going to need a pair of tweezers for one of them. I'll need those for some of it, I think. So that was the big pieces, and then I have some smaller ones, but still substantial, like that one. And oops, there's one, and there's, this is actually the difficult one, I think. I don't know if you can see, but these two fit together, and then there's a small one down there. So I have to figure out if I can, oh, yeah, it possibly I can glue this together first and then glue it in. No. Well, yes, maybe I could, but I'm not sure that's the right thing to do. What if I glue this in first and then I glue this in there? Yeah, that's better. I think that's, oops. I think that's what we're going to do. So this goes down like so. I think I'm actually going to glue the body, this part this time. Just get this out of the way a little bit. All right, see if I can get some glue in here. If I can, of course I can. There we go, like so. Yeah, and then I'm putting this in there. Oh, Jesus. I almost glued my fingers together there. Which I should probably try if I can avoid And also, this shouldn't slide backwards. It should stay flush with the surface. So I'm going to try, and this is going to be a little bit more difficult, but possible. Maybe possible. There we go. It's going to keep it from going anywhere, if nothing else. And now I'm going to try, that's what I need the tweezers for, I think, because I'm going to, got glue on my fingers. That's the outside. I am going to put it in that little, this small triangular piece goes in there. And that's the inside and that's the outside. All right, that way. So a little bit of glue in there. Little bit of glue in there, like so. And I'm pretty sure that if I try to stick my finger in there, I'm going to glue it. I'm going to glue my finger to the thing. So, but that actually worked rather well. There's a big blob of glue there, but I'm expecting I might be able to like cut that off or break it off when this is done. So I'm not going to smear it and make it worse. Oh, you're not going to believe this. I almost said this is going well. How about trying that to jinx everything? Last piece, well, last big piece anyway. And oh my God, that fits so well. Much better than I thought it might. That is beautiful. I don't think I need to tape that last one. Obviously, because they're kind of supporting each other at this point. All right, I'm not gonna try and fiddle with it anymore. There's a small piece falling off over here, which I've also rescued, which I also found. So that's this piece. That's this piece, which also takes a tweezer to put on, I'm sure. But that's the smallest one I'm gonna try, and that's the smallest I'm gonna try to actually glue on here. So yeah, a little bit of glue on there. I'm not actually sure I'm gonna be able to do this, but we'll try. I'm also, because I'm afraid I'll actually, this is a very thin sliver, so I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. See if I can. Oh, now it's actually sticking in the, like I said, the glue is sort of gel / slime like, and the little piece is sticking in that, but I keep pushing it too much. Oh my God, because I'm so afraid of gluing my finger to it, to the small piece. I'm so scared that I'm gonna glue my finger to the small piece, or glue the small piece to my finger, and then I can't move it anymore because it's glued to my finger, or I can't get it to sit where I want it to sit. See if I can, if I help it with another piece of toolery here. Kind of, oh God, I'm clumsy. This is really not going well. Oh, there we are. That's almost exactly where it's supposed to go. See if I can squeeze it in without moving it. Ah, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Ah, it has to come up and over, I think. I think it has to come up and over. This is difficult as hell. I'm not sure the piece fits anymore. I think something could have happened. No, the piece doesn't fit anymore. Something broke off of it. It's not okay. That bit's not going to work. The small one there, that's not going to work. But that's cool. It's not structural. It is only cosmetic, and I have only just a little bit of glue on my fingers. Okay, so the camera crapped out just as I was finishing it. In fact, at the exact moment I finished gluing the body of this this ceramic pepper grinder together, but it worked. I just finished and I put it aside for the glue to set, and then a little bit later that day I took the tape off, and here we are. I mean, I can definitely break this again if I want to, but yeah, it worked. This is now glued together, and there's a little bit of glue residue left, and I think I mentioned in the other video it is cracked. It has cracks in it because of course it does. It was thoroughly broken, but I'm going to work with that somehow. But yeah, it worked, and now I have removed most or all of the glue. There's a little bit left there, but there was various places wherein glue was left from taking it apart, and I've gotten rid of that. And then, so it's basically ready to reassemble. But this collar here, or inner sleeve, is a little bit, it's broken, and that's actually visible. This is the bottom of the grinder. And this goes in here. So this is basically, if you turn the grinder upside down when it's assembled, this is what you'll see. And I thought, it's not great. It's not great. And also, it seems like it's brittle. I mean, I basically just touched that and it fell off. So I think this plastic is brittle. It's old. So what I did was, I 3D printed a new piece. I basically just... well, actually, what I did first was I printed a slice. This is a very snug fit. It has to be a snug fit for the plastic parts. If you know anything about ceramic, you know that really snug fitting ceramic parts is usually not feasible. It's very difficult, and it's also, you know, that the material isn't good for that kind of thing. But the plastic parts fit very snugly, and they have to. So, for instance, in this sleeve, this is the old version. There is an inside ring, an inner ring here, which goes in here. Oops. Which goes in here. Oh my God! And like I said, it's pretty snug. And if I don't get it in straight, it just won't go in. But it goes in here like so, slips right in, and there are three little. Oh, sorry. There are three little registration bumps to keep, and that's to keep this bit from turning, because inside that plastic sleeve goes a ceramic ring. Oops. And then, and that also has registration indentations. So that goes in there. And then the inside, this is actually the grinder itself. So the plastic, this plastic sleeve here holds the outer part of the grinder stationary against the inner part, which turns when you turn the grinder. That's how it functions. So this has to be, it has to fit with the registration marks, and it has to be really snug. But so in order to make sure I got that right, I printed a slice out of it first to make sure I had the fit, like so. Oops. Oh, it's upside down. Like so, to make sure I had the fit right, and then I just extended that into a new version of this part. So I have basically the exact same part, except that this is 3D printed out of PLA. Oops. And what do you know? This is the original part. This is the new 3D printed part. And here comes the fit. Oops. Get the registration marks in place. How about that? it fits perfectly. It's nice and snug. It holds tight like it's supposed to, and it fits. In fact, it might even fit slightly better into the body of the ceramic body of the grinder, because I actually did make it a couple of tenths of a millimeter bigger than this one. The other one was a little bit loose, so this is even tighter. So basically, I'm at a point now where I can reassemble this thing. And just for a quick rundown, what's going to happen is this goes in here, and then the grinder body comes in from the other side, and the center part goes in there. There's a spring action, and this holds it, and this holds the outer part of the grinder in place. Sorry, the inner part of the grinder in place, and allows you to tighten it so that it grinds just right. That's the coarseness or the fineness of the grind you can adjust with this nut in the middle. And then on the other end goes, goes this, again, a plastic. Oh, I did it in the wrong order. Ha ha ha. Well, let me just get that off again. I am so sorry. On the other end goes this plastic sleeve. This is not the original plastic part, but it's fine, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to make a new one of those. But that goes in here and has to be glued in place because it holds this ceramic part, which is the grinder part, the part that you turn. Goes in here, and the ceramic part is then, this sleeve is glued against the body for this to rest in, and then the grinder body, the inside, that's the reservoir. That's where the pepper or salt goes in, and this is actually glued to this ceramic part, which is the part that you turn. So this plastic part moves against this plastic part so that you don't have two ceramic parts grinding against each other. That's how it works. And then, like I said, the new inside sleeve goes there. The outer part of the grinder itself, the inner part. Tightening that little plastic nut there. And then finally, and then it's actually, that's how it's assembled. And then you grind, la da da. And the final part, of course, being the stopper that goes in the funnel. And then it's together. There you have it, a perfectly new pepper grinder. Perfectly functional old pepper grinder, but it comes apart because I haven't glued it. And that is because next step in this operation is that I'm going to go buy the right kind of glue for gluing plastic parts like this, like this, and this, and this to ceramic. So I am going to go to the hardware store today and pick up the right kind of glue and glue this baby together. And hopefully the next clip will show, maybe I will show you gluing it. I don't know. I mean, how complicated can that be? Yeah, so the next step is gluing it, and then after having done that, hopefully the final step will be finishing and having a nice weathered and beat up and cracked and re-glued but functional Eslau pepper grinder. So off to the hardware store. All right, so this project, the pepper grinder repair project, is almost complete, almost done. Like I said, I'm going to lean into this appearance that it has cracks, and it shows the, let's just call it the wear and tear of being a loved kitchen tool. So I'm going to keep it like that in its seems solid. The gluing went well. I have glued in the sleeve, I guess you would call that sort of like a bearing or a bushing, and I've glued the grinding part together with the body of the grinder here, or that's the sort of handle / funnel, and the body of the grinder, which is also the reservoir. So everything is ready. The only thing I have to do now is assemble it and test it. So first thing, I put the existing inner sleeve here into the new 3D printed one that I glued in place, and then the outer rim of the ceramic grinder, and the body of the grinder goes through from the other end, and then the rotating, the moving part of the grinder goes in the middle, and finally the tightening nut, which holds everything together, and also you can tighten it to get the grind you want. But actually, I think it has to be as tight as it'll go, pretty much. So just pushing the grinder down against, there's a spring inside, pushing the grinder down against that and tightening it, and it will turn as it is supposed to. I don't know if you can even tighten it so much that it won't turn, but it can be pretty tight. I think that's for salt or something. So now it sort of feels firm but loose. Feels just about right, I think. But the ultimate test obviously will have to be putting some pepper in there. So let's do that. And like I said, one of the design details that I like about this pepper grinder here, or this grinder here, is that the handle top part, twisty bitty thingy, is also a funnel. So you just basically put your peppercorns in there. There you go. It is so easy to fill. And the stopper goes in there, and it's okay. You can shake it out, but it's pretty firm. And now the moment of truth. It is in fact grinding pepper, and I actually think the grind is nice. Tighten it maybe just a little bit if possible, but you know, check this out. A nice coarse but not too coarse grind. So there we are. My sadly broken and destroyed 80s ceramic Danish design pepper grinder is now back in battery and will go into my kitchen, hopefully to be used there when I cook and when at the dining table when I take my meals for many years to come. And the morale of the story, of course, is if you break stuff that you like, don't give up until you've tried fixing it, because sometimes it works. And this time it did. So I'm very happy about that. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. For anyone who wants to know, I used, this is actually called Yes Power. I'm so sorry about that, but this is a regular, it's basically a dime store cyanoacrylate super glue. And you can see that it is sort of like, it has a gel-like consistency. That's what I used to glue the body itself together after I broke it. And the other magic tool which I used for gluing the plastic bits to the ceramic everywhere that was necessary, I found this stuff. It's amazing. If you need to glue, let's say if you need to glue stuff that doesn't fit snugly and or is like very different materials, like in this case plastic on ceramic, this stuff apparently glues almost anything. It's from Dana, Danish company. The CombiFlex 524. It's thick. It's sort of heavy in use. I think it was formulated for a caulking gun, but it comes in this small, practical, what's in this 75 milliliter tube. It's not quick setting. It takes about 10 hours or something like that for a seam like these. The more glue, the longer it takes. But yeah, so that was just my tool tips for this. Some gel super glue and the CombiFlex. These were basically the tools that were used for gluing this thing together.